Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. What up and welcome back. It's your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, and we got some syrup to get into. Because y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood in real life, and we're going to talk about it over here. So come on in, hit thumbs up, okay? It's the bus. What time is it? It's 7 minutes shy of 11, 7 to 11 to be exact. Y'all know I'm over here in Baltimore. Baltimore, stand up. Today's going to be a really good show. I can feel it. Some of this stuff might be slightly outraging, right? So if you're sensitive to people joking about race issues that simply is not funny, this may be something you just want to brace yourself for. I always have my sense of humor with me, right? But there's nothing funny about what we are about to go over. But there are going to be some pockets of laughter because, you know, that's just how your girl, the plainest Jane, is. Okay? So come on in, have a seat on a bus, hit thumbs up on your way in. Shout out to each and every person in the live chat. I see there were quite a few people that got on the bus early. Some of y'all was on here pre-gaming already. A couple of y'all already passed me the bottle, and that is okay. I'm just not trying to get pulled over with y'all with these bottles up in the air. So put them down. We've got some things that we need to navigate through, and really a really important discussion that I think should take place about the importance of our history as Black people as it pertains to Gen Z and the younger generations. It seems they just don't take enough seriously. And so I just want to go over a little bit of history, and tomorrow's show is going to be really good as well. By the way, this evening, as soon as I end this live, I am buying the transcripts for the Megan Tory case. So I just want to let y'all know about that, but I don't want to take too long to get into today's topic. We're going to talk about that a little later. So to all of my channel members, if you've actually joined the channel, not subscribed to the channel, join the channel, you will get first dibs and first access to me reading through these transcripts, us really processing this information to really formulate what is happening here. And the general public is going to get it, I think about like 2 to 4 days later. Okay. So that's one thing I wanted to get out the way. So come on. And like I said, hit thumbs up real quick. I hope you're feeling all right. Y'all know I tell y'all each and every time y'all get up on my bus, do not ride my bus and be dibbling and dabbling into celebrity business if you have not already tackled your own mental and spiritual warfare, okay? Tackle what's going on in your world before you be nosy and you meddling into the stuff that is going to outrage you in the real world, because a lot of this stuff is foolishness. It's going to outrage you and all that other good stuff, right? So before I get into breaking down today's topics and viral events, make sure you subscribe and thumbs up or down. Either way, I really appreciate it. But don't forget to think critically and independently. Matter of fact, make sure you think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. I see a lot of us is getting on the bus. I see a couple of stragglers. That's okay. I waited for you, but we finna take off right about now. Okay.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right. And y'all know we are back. And I see somebody said, I don't know why I thought I was watching the playback. No, you are not watching the playback. You are watching it live and living color. So let's get right into it. Like I said, I want to give y'all a trigger warning, okay? Because it's stuff that this younger generation makes fun of. They need some sick Negro. They need some help, rather, should I say. They need some help. They some sick Negroes. Without further ado, let me play the video. And you give me one word to describe the video after we watch it. Let's take a look.
Hey, who you with? This my Massa. Found bad. 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 Who you with?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Now, I know that happened a little fast. It might have happened too fast for you to really comprehend what was taking place. But something just happened. And it was pretty damn crazy, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to run it back one more time. And I want y'all to give me one word that describes this video right here. One word.
Hey, who you with? Bitch, Massa. Found fed. 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 Who you with?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Okay, so to break this thing down, because like I said, this is crazy. This is definitely a crazy ride, without a doubt. Disheartening, degrading, disrespectful, ignorant. One person said ignorant, another person said ignorant. I get it. It's definitely both. I'm baffled as to why they think this is funny. My reaction is what, right? So these, and it appears to be predominantly what seems to be college kids. So these aren't seasoned women, right? I try not to say old people. I try to say seasoned when I can think about it. So these appear to be really young people. And what's really unfortunate about it, gross, disturbing, goofy, yeah. What's really disturbing about like this generation, this day and age is everything is a joke. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of stuff is a joke. Some would even say I have a dark sense of humor, and I really try to be careful when I come online because everything's not funny to everybody, and humor has changed. What I've seen growing up in the 90s and what was funny on those TV shows is not PC in today's world. There's been a huge cultural shift, right? And there are idiots, there are just people who ain't got no good sense, no home training, as your mother or your grandmother might say, within every generation, without a doubt. But one thing's for sure and two things for certain is I didn't see any Black people joking about slavery in this capacity when I was coming up. And I damn sure didn't see any Black people who were willingly putting themselves in what's supposed to be a funny recreation and in a position to reenact a slave because it's a joke, especially at the hands of a white person. There's this whole conversation about divesting going on. And look, date who you want to date. Just don't degrade anybody else. In the meantime, this is the same thing we said about Christian Toby Obumseli. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to date your snow bunnies, your clear people, your see-through people. There's nothing wrong with that. But degrading Black women in the process, that inlines the problem. And that is how he meant his demise. And in this case, you have these people, and it just so happens to only be one way. We don't see any Black men in this here scenario, right, who are allowing their white girlfriends to do this to them. So that's one thing that I noticed about this. Why is it all these is it that Black men have too much sense to let a white woman do something like this? There's a lot that we need to unpack here with this situation, okay? And it's the desensitization of slavery, of oppression, of all of that stuff. Why are we trivializing? Why are we downplaying the severity of what slavery did to us, what it's still doing to us? Because slavery is still here, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute, right? But I just want to slowly unpack this because there are several layers here. What I find to be extremely disgusting about it, a white girl is too scared to play like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. What I find to be really disgusting about this is there is this little nasty ass kink called race play where people are, and you know what a kink is. Some people have a kink where they like feet. They want to put oil and honey on feet. They want foot sex, which is where you literally take 2 feet and you jerk off, right? I'm just trying to help you understand, right? So there's this weird ass kink where people enjoy reenacting slavery in the bedroom, and it's supposed to be kinky and lovable. You know what I'm saying? And there are even some people on YouTube, Black women, who will do phone sex operator type stuff, right? and will let these old white men call them all types of nigga bitches while they reach their right. And so race play is a thing. And while, listen, it's disgusting whether the cameras are on or off, but the nerve of you to take something like that and to record it and put it online, right? And I feel like this is race play. All race play, right? Because it's a legit terminology. All race play isn't sexual necessarily. And this antic right here is making race play more visible. And now these are college kids engaging in this and they think it's funny. So I went to one of these young dense ladies pages from the video, right? Because you know they they post this stuff. So I go to her page and here's exactly what she said, right? I go to the top of her thread because I know she been getting ate up in the comments. Yes, Doja Cat did get caught up doing some race play shit. Yes, she did. Absolutely, 100%. And here's what the young girl had to say. I'm not sure why I'm receiving hate on this video. I thought it was an easy, quick TikTok to make. If you can't take a joke, then scroll. Okay. Because it's that much of a joke. She really doesn't, she's being honest. She doesn't understand why she's receiving this hate because I feel like she doesn't take the plight of her ancestors, her grandparents, and so on. And so she doesn't take it serious. These are all people of color. The joke wouldn't, first of all, the joke doesn't hit. Let's start there. The joke does not hit, but it also would make no sense at all if it was two white people. So there are people of color that want to go about being yoked up, so to speak, by a white person because they think it's funny. And then you can listen to the soundbite in this video that says, "Where you at? With my massa." Yeah, y'all are sick. And because none of them appear to be over 30 years old, I'm going to give you some grace, but you're still sick.
This is a sick Negro.
Something's wrong. Several things are wrong here. Where are your parents? And the fact that old girl still got this uploaded to this day. I came across this thread early in the week, Sunday, Monday. Old girl still got it up because she think it's cute. Comments still rolling in because she think it's cute and funny. And I believe her when she says, I don't understand why I'm getting this hate. See, the problem that I have with stuff like this, and yes, a black man being walked like a dog at his wedding by his white wife. Absolutely. That is something, right? It creates an Jesus, this is so annoying. Should I go to the bush and weep? And thank you so much for joining the channel, Yaya Cat. I really appreciate that. So here's the issue that I have with these types of situations, right? It creates these pockets of LOL moments, right? For people who aren't even black to laugh at stuff like this because you're putting it out here like making fun or making light, trivializing, glamorizing, downplaying slavery like it's funny. There's nothing funny about what our folks went through. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about the effects of it that we still are working through. There's nothing funny about being legit immigrants to this place, and every other immigrant that comes to this country can get reparations and business grants because they're a foreigner, but we were stolen from our country and brought over here, and we can't even get reparations or at the very bare minimum, free mental health care because it's definitely something that we need. There's nothing funny about that. And so to create these jokes, these LOL moments that are not only distributed, they are embraced and endorsed by black folk. Y'all make it difficult because every other non-black person that wants to make light and wants to make fun of our ancestors' plight, they're going to pull up this shit and they're going to say, look, even this person of color thinks it's a joke. Lighten up. Get your panties out of a bunch. No, stop creating these pockets, these LOL moments, and giving these people leeway to do this stuff. Stop it. You're sick. You're a sick Negro. I'm a grown woman, and my family dynamic is interesting to say the very least. But I can still say, I really could give a shit what my parents think because I'm grown. I'm my own person. However, I can say at my big old age, I would be embarrassed to do something like this and for my people to see it. Embarrassed because I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't raised that way to make fun of the struggles that literally my great-great-grandfather went through. I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't. And here's another thing that's really frustrating about today's society. And while I understand it, right? Y'all claim like as a society, and it's for the most part, I think it's like the older part of society, but I think we really need to consider the representation that we have. Y'all claim, I'm tired of seeing movies like Roots. I'm tired of seeing Black people positioned as slaves or as the help. I'm tired of seeing, Black people in these uncompromising situations in history. We know the history already. Can we start seeing some uplifting representation, please? Can we start seeing some successful Black? And don't get me wrong, I understand the sentiment. It does get pretty old after a while seeing that. However, how else are we supposed to help the new school understand how serious and how real this was? How else? It's almost like they don't get it. It's almost like they don't think that it really happened because maybe their direct parents weren't affected by it. But for me, one of my grandparents and my great-great-grandparents actually were telling me about when the television was black and white and when segregation ended and how they were still afraid to go into establishments that previously were all white establishments. They were afraid for their life, and they knew even though segregation had ended, they knew it was still dangerous for them to just roam the streets freely because of what that racial climate was. So I understand how real it was because I sat down and I got these talks from my folks about how difficult it was when society first integrated. I understand the severity of that. What is it going to take to get through to this generation? How serious this stuff is? I don't know. Are we going to beat them upside the head with and turn Roots on and make them watch it and chain them down? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But what I can say is slavery legitimately never died. And I think that that's another thing that this generation doesn't quite understand because they don't really, like I said, I swear they think that it didn't even really happen. It's like you can barely keep their attention when you talk about it anyway. God forbid they go to work and get fired or discriminated against. And they feel that little moment and to not even be able to fully conceptualize and respect what the people that came before them had to endure and all that they did endure for them to have the freedoms and the liberties that they have today. But honestly, slavery never died. It has merely been repackaged, and you'd be a fool, young, older, and different. You would be a fool to think that we are fully liberated and free. We are still very much slaves to name brands, toxic mentalities and behaviors, financial bondage, financial illiteracy, because it was illegal for us to educate ourselves, for us to learn. Back in the 40s, back in the 30s, if a white person was caught teaching a Black person ABCs, arithmetic, how to read, they got in trouble because they weren't supposed to be teaching us how to do anything. We were supposed to be dumb niggas. And so the illiteracy that still lives on today, even if it's just financial literacy, we don't know how to budget our money. Some people will get their little $1,500 paycheck and go get $1,100 bag or go get a car note that they cannot afford or maintain. Slavery is very much still here. A lot of Black folk on the bus working at McDonald's with $400 sneakers and an $800 belt on, and you can't tell them nothing that they're not doing the daggone thing. Slavery is very much still here. A broken clock is wrong 2 times a day. That's one thing Kanye West did say back in the day before he fully lost his everlasting mind. Was racism still alive? They just been concealing it. Which slavery is still alive. They just been concealing it. It has been repackaged. It has not been abolished. We are not free. If we were free, we would have our reparations. And we wouldn't have to fight so hard against police brutality and discrimination. Hell, we only just got laws passed to wear our hair natural at work. Do you know in several states across America, it is still very legal for me? And I've been there before. Before I had locks, I had long twists. But even still now, the Crown Act is something that was passed so that an employer cannot discriminate against you for your hair and the way that it looks. It is legal in some states for you to go, apply, do your job interview, pass, and they say, great, we want to bring you on board. We just need you to comb out them locks, cut out them locks, throw a wig on, but your hair doesn't look kept. That is discrimination, because who the hell else is wearing locks outside of Black people? We all know what non-colored people hair look like when it's when they get locks. That's some colonizer shit. They look like the Grinch's fingers. It's us. They can still legally discriminate against us and keep us from working and making coin, unless because you see so many athletes on the side of the lines cutting their hair off. Oh, your hair's hanging out your helmet. You need to cut your hair. Oh, you need to take those beads out. You need to legal stuff out in the open in front of everybody. They just passed the anti-lynching law. It just became legal to not lynch Black folk. But you know it's still happening in several places. There are several places down south in Mississippi and so on and so forth that are sundown towns. If you don't know what a sundown town is, go look it up. It's one of those places where if you Black, you know not to take your ass there past sundown, because Emmett Till. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And so, you know, slavery was here to do a number of things, right? This generation is so low. And I have a soft spot for teenagers because I do feel like teenagers are some of the most misunderstood of the population, right? There's been a huge cultural shift when it comes to comedy anyway. And I get that. Some things that are funny now weren't funny then, but they don't teeter the line of being this disrespectful. Race play. But this is just out of line. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket. And so when we talk about slavery and how it's still here, they're making fun of slavery. Slavery was here to do a number of things. It was here to demoralize us, to destroy us, and to dilute our power and our potency as Black people. We got the sauce. We got the juice. This is the reason why they created so many disadvantages for us, because they were threatened by our sauce, by our swag, all that. And so as a society, we are keeping this very same energy alive in this video, right?
Hey, who you with? Bitch, Massa. Found bad. 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 Who you with?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Not to mention, TikTok is an app that is made for kids. This is what the kids are doing. TikTok is so toxic. And DMJ has a really good point. TikTok needs to pull this stuff down, but will they? I highly doubt they will. Every now and then, if there's enough outrage, they will. But they see this stuff and they let it rock. TikTok is a very scary place. And listen, Facebook can be toxic. Social media can be toxic in general, right? Especially in 2022. Facebook can be toxic. Instagram can be toxic. Twitter can be toxic. But TikTok is the worst. That's where all of the young kids are. And it's not that young kids are toxic. It's just the energy on that app is baffling. It is baffling. And to know that these trends are here, and that not to mention, that's where all the predators hide and they like to prey on the children. But the fact that this is a TikTok trend and they thought it was funny, this is just 6 of the couples who did it. There were hundreds of them, hundreds that really thought this was funny. And I'm watching it. Oh, and listen, I laugh at a lot of shit. I really do. Some of the stuff I laugh at, I wouldn't even come on this camera and tell you that I laughed at, because I'd be like, ooh, I might get canceled. But I was legitimately looking for the joke the whole time in here. I mean, I'm just stone-faced. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And like I said, we're keeping this energy alive about with regards to slavery. Again, it was here to demoralize us, to destroy us, to dilute our potency and our power as Black people. And when we create these LOL moments to allow other people to pick up these jokes and send it to someone as a nuance, we're keeping this stuff alive with the tasteless jokes of this very nature. Please don't think that at any point that this is an isolated joke. Don't think that any of these people that participated in this mess, that it doesn't affect the rest of society and that it only affects you. No, it dilutes our power and our potency is exactly what it does. There's a ripple effect here. It doesn't just end with you, especially when you unleash it onto the internet. Even if you were to delete it, it lives on forever. And the rest of this, we have to deal with that. We have to deal with people still making fun and making light of what happened to our ancestors. And you're giving them ammo. That's the problem. See, the thing is, I don't think that it's going to die in my lifetime. And that's not me being pessimistic. That's not me fear mongering. That's just me being realistic about how long racism and this type of discrimination against my people has been here. However, I can tell you it ain't going to die down anytime soon with antics like this. It's just not. We're keeping it alive with senselessness like this. Raise your kid. If you got a college kid that's doing this, go yoke them up. That and Bigo. Oh, yeah, Bigo was a mess too. And shout out to everybody coming in. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Okay. Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the Black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more Black news. So this is just unfortunate. It's not an isolated joke. It does a complete disservice to the rest of the community who has to deal with the ripple effects of this type of behavior. And like I've been saying in a couple of different videos, it's just a common theme. This trolling thing that the younger generation does. Don't get me messed up. Don't get me messed up. Trolling is a thing, and there is a such thing as innocent trolling, right? That's not at the detriment of Black people. But this level of trolling and enraging the public, there's been a cultural shift where it's like stuff can't be funny unless you are using the element of outraging everyone who sees it and trolling as a marketing tactic, as a ploy to get more clout or relevancy or to be funny, just period. Nowadays, outrage and trolling is the social currency you need in order to be visible. As long as you get a reaction out of the people, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, that's all that you need. Unfortunately, that is the sick mindset that a lot of people have in this day and age. And I can say that that's not just the young people. However, young people learn so fast, and I don't even think they fully conceptualize the effects of what they're doing, but they pick up so damn fast. There is nothing that a 15-year-old can't pick up a phone and do. Nothing. They could outdo me on the phone, and I'm pretty goddamn tech savvy. I'm sitting here 1, 2, 3, 4 screens in front of me and 2 phones. I know how to do a hell of a lot. Okay. Flip phone was the first phone. No, I had a Nokia first. But the point that I'm making is these kids do this stuff without realizing what the lasting effects are. And it's really sad. And trolling and enraging the public, it transforms into something else. It's a vicious trend to just want to outrage people for the sake of likes, clicks, and views and going viral. Everybody goes viral understands everybody's not going to like this. I need to include an element of outrage and or disrespect here in order to make this thing here do numbers. This new generation is just wild as fuck. They're just wild. And like I said, each generation has a large handful of idiots and just stupid garbage people. Every generation has those. But I can honestly say, in the 99s and the 2000s, and you're working with some we wasn't doing nothing like this. It would not be tolerated. You would damn near be stoned to death if you were to think about doing some making fun of some like this. To be a Black person and to do this back in the 99 and the 2000s is the equivalent of being a white person and walking up to a group of Black people and saying, nigga, it's dangerous. It's not safe. You been and got your ass beat. Okay. It's been 30 minutes. 30 minutes exactly in 4 seconds. It's time to go to the bush, and I'm going to finish my thoughts. Let's go to the damn bush, shall we?
It was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Yeah, because they really don't know or understand the struggle and how real it was. And, that's my question. How do we really get the younger generation to understand the severity and the seriousness of what that time was like? How? We born to death with textbooks and movies that they're just like not interested in because they feel like, oh, was that when Harriet Tubman was around with my grandma? Like, no, listen, because the effects are still here. It's just nuanced in a different way. You think when racism technically ended on paper that it just literally fell off the face of the earth. No, there are so many microaggressions and antics and undertones that still exist here today. It's just in a different form, dressed in a different way. That's it. And, young people and Black people, look, you set the tone for how you want to be treated. You set the tone for how you want to be treated. I mean, it's really for everybody, but I do enjoy talking to the younger generation. You set the tone for how you want to be treated. And like this, putting yourself in a position of a slave to your white partner. Ask Christian Obumseli. Ask Christian Toby Obumseli how that went for him. For glamorizing stuff like that and allowing behavior. Imagine how many red flags he may have missed behind a woman that literally fetishized about him, professed how she only dates rich Black men, and then turned around and stabbed him in the back and went out to have a drink at the bar the next day like nothing happened. Stop it. You're not telling me there wasn't a red flag that young man didn't see. Or that didn't exist. He probably, of course, he didn't want to see it because that had been he was like obsessed with snow bunnies. It was sick at our expense, right? It's not sick that he was obsessed with snow bunnies. It's sick that he had to degrade Black women in order to put them up on a pedestal. But you're not telling me that her nasty behavior and how she killed him, there weren't some signs, some aggressions. Hell, the friends say that she was always putting her hands on him. These undertones are just not it. It's not it. It's just not it. And like I said, you set the tone for how people treat you, for how you want to be treated. And that's in any circumstance, whether it be a familial friendship, a regular friendship, a romantic or intimate relationship, you set that tone. But some of these men, they think that they own you. They think that you are a possession. And when we think about what slavery actually was, you were the property of the slave owner who owned you. That's who you were. That's what you are. You weren't even a who, you were a what. You weren't even technically classified as an entire human being. You were a fraction of a human. You were degraded, dehumanized down to a thing. This is serious stuff. So I want you to take a look at this sick perspective that I found earlier today while I was doing some additional digging on this subject. Take a look at this sick perspective of a man who loves this trend. There is a Black man out here who loves this trend, and he thinks that the trend is great because of what it means for him. Okay? Let's take a look.
One, first and foremost, when they give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salute to Shalom to all you girls out there to push this word truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this is a quick video.
Girl, what?
Just going into this My Massa challenge. And this is actually beautiful because it's the spirit that this is.
Beautiful. He said it's what? He said it's beautiful. You see how I'm saying? You give ammo to your oppressor, and your oppressor does not always not look like you. Sometimes your oppressor and the people who want to be condescending to you, they want to demean you, they want to dehumanize you, they want to reduce you down to a thing. that owns you. They are not always non-black. Sometimes it be your own people.
Coming out right now, because the apostles just pretty much came out and said how you had to be possessed with this truth.
And he adding the apostles in the Bible. He pulls up 4 different Bible verses in this video. We ain't watching the whole thing because this is another sick Negro. But I just want y'all to listen because he's not the only person. There are plenty of people who share this sick ass perspective.
And we know that the scriptures liken it wisdom into a woman, and a wife is a possession. And this also shows that the woman needs to be put in subjection. So she's showing that she wants to be submissive at the end of the day. But us in this truth, knowing what time we in, that we know that we have to be possessed by this truth, man, because it's about to get real crazy out here. So let's pull some precepts and close it out. Lord willing, if I have to do another video later, I'm gonna do it. I'm just doing this before work. I got a little time, but it's all spiritual. So let's bring this out since I mentioned this. Is Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Right? Our women's supposed to be like a wife, not a harlot. You know, that's how they're acting right now, a harlot.
Sick. I'm not listening to no more. And I just can't. And he got the nerve to drag the Bible into this. The Bible talking about women should be submissive. I know you serious. Not another one. Another sick Negro. How many times am I covering these sick Negroes? Again, another one.
Again.
I just don't. There's an overage. Somebody please.
This is a sick Negro.
He's sick. But if he can find somebody that's going to be stupid enough to let him do these things, he's going to find it. Now, mind you, he couldn't even read. It was a struggle for him to read all those basic words, and none of those words were over 3 syllables, and that's a whole nother thing. He's an idiot. He's not even educated. However, he feels like if he can search the Bible for the word possession and wife in the same sentence, that he can somehow excuse or glamorize or say, yes, there is space in the universe and for the Black community and for women at large to embrace and continue to place themselves in these uncompromising situations to love their oppressors. If you understand what history really is, you would know that a lot of Black people did. Should I say a lot? Some people did, right? You think about what a coon is, what a house, what Samuel L. Jackson on Django was. Plenty of people like that. They'll sell out their own folk just to make the Uncle Ruckuses. Hell, the New York City, the Brooklyn subway shooter literally hate their own people and think that a woman should be pregnant and barefoot and serve a man hand and foot. And that is her job, is to be his dog, so to speak. And this is the type of stuff. Not only do you leave room for white people to continue to dehumanize you, demoralize you, destroy you, dilute your power and your potency, you leave room for your own people who got sick ass mentality to do this shit as well. It's a problem. That's a problem. I'm tired. Tired of these sick Negroes. Tired of talking about them. I'm tired of it. Some of these men, like I said, you set the tone for how you want to be treated. And some of these men think that they own you, whether they be white, whatever color they is, black, white, purple, whatever. They think that they own you. So if you're out here joking about something as serious as this, you are prey. You are prey to someone who understands that you're making light of something so serious and that there is some wiggle room for them to still implement this type of behavior on you in a serious or joking sense. Because a lot of stuff starts out as a joke until it gets real. A lot of stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, if she thinks that this is funny, then she really, there's something here that's like not serious about it. No, you're leaving wiggle room for them to creep in these anti-Black antics. Adores Aaliyah since 94 says these dudes love talking about what a wife should be, but never try to be what a husband should be. Hello. Hello. That reminds me of what Kevin Samuel said earlier today. A whole old ass, single ass fool that had a man caught in his bed talking about any woman that's over 30 years old is worthless or something like that. And I'm like, sir, I know you lying. This is coming from a 57-year-old unmarried man. What did he say? All women who are 35 and older are leftover women that are to the side. They're undesirable. They're trash. If nobody married you by 35, you must be a trash ass woman. This is coming from a single man, an unmarried man who couldn't even afford child support, who got caught with a man in his bed, continues to give heterosexual dating advice. These niggas will take any opportunity to degrade you. Do you hear me? And even a black man seeing this crazy shit will say, okay, well, if she think it's funny for white people to put her in that situation, oh, I know I can get away with stuff because I'm not even white, but I know I can get her to be submissive in a sense because she thinks that giving people power over her is funny. This shit was deadly for our people, and it still is. Sundown towns still exist. I have a video coming up about this town that just didn't want white people in black people in it. And Oprah went to go interview them in the 90s, and they were proud about it. Like, y'all better not come around here. The town is exactly the same to this day. These are serious times. Serious time. It's just serious stuff. And so it's really unfortunate just how the younger generation doesn't take these types of things seriously. You know, and what's sad is in this video, you can see, like I said, there's nothing but, you know, college looking, you know, looks like maybe like 19 to 22-year-olds doing it. I'm not saying I give them a complete pass. Hopefully one day they grow up and wake up and realize that this is not the way. But again, with telling jokes like this, you are prey. You are prey. Failed marriages for Kevin Samuel. Yes. So as long as you are prey to black men, white men, any type of men with this type of behavior, you better hope that by the time you grow up or you wake up and decide that it's time for you to get out because you've created too much wiggle room for them to continuously disrespect, because you disrespect yourself when you do shit like this. And so you make room for the person that you're in a relationship with. You make room for them to do it as well. And by the time, you better hope that by the time you wake up and you try to get away, that it's not too late. Because a lot of time when a man tries to take power over you and they feel like you are not a partner, you are possession to them. You are a thing that belongs to them and them only. When you try to leave, it becomes deadly. It can become a domestic violence, a domestic abusive situation. I'm speaking from what I've been told from my grandparents, what I've seen from my parents, and what I have been through myself with a black man. Felt like he owned me. And when I tried to get away, he tried to kill me. People, when you see, this is the thing, you're giving people power over you with shit like this. And there is nothing there is no rage greater than a narcissist that believes that they own you when they start losing control over you, because at some point they had it to an extent. You want to see the biggest temper tantrum of all time relinquish a narcissist's control over you. They're going to flip the fuck out. They will. They will. And that's whether they black, white, purple, green, yellow, alien, it don't matter. It don't matter. So this is a very dangerous game to play, especially to hear that black men even think that it's funny, because they're like, oh yeah, I can possess her. If they're going to let the white man possess her, I know damn well I can make her belong to me and worship me and let me disrespect her. She's disrespecting her damn self. I mean, it's sundown towns all over the place. This is really sad. And I just hope it's not too late by the time these babies, because anybody that's 24 or younger is still a baby. And I'm not making an excuse, because they should still know better. However, I hope that it's not too late by the time they want to get out of these situations. Okay. Now, speaking of trolling, that's gone too far, because I feel like with these kids, they knew it was going to enrage people. the black women and the white guys yoking them up by the shirt, thinking it's funny. They knew that was going to outrage people. And they wanted to go viral. And listen, they have. They have. Idiots of the year. Idiots of the year. The trolling has gone too far. But speaking of trolling gone too far and using outrage as a marketing or a popularity tactic or a means to attain clout, let's move on over to this bald-headed, no hair in the middle having ass Tory Lanez. Lord have mercy. Oh my God, we got to move on to Tory Lanez. Oh, let me readjust myself in my seat because I hate talking about this midget. I hate talking about this leprechaun. Lord, no. He gets on my nerves. He gets on my nerves. Let's go on and talk about him. There are 75 of us here. Listen, if all of y'all haven't hit thumbs up on the bus, I'm going to put you off. Pay your fare. It's free to ride the bus. Some people send cash apps. Some people send super chats. Some people join the membership. But hit thumbs up because it's a free way to support the show. And it's really important for me, for the algorithm. Y'all know I'm rebuilding my channel. But also videos like this about color, about black and white. YouTube, the search engines, they like to hide and suppress this type of content. So make sure y'all hit thumbs up on this video and share it in your group chat, okay? Hey, thanks for letting me keep you connected and in the know with what's happening in the black world. Don't forget to smash on that like button for support and for more black news. So let's move on to Tory Lanez and his clown behind. This is a joke he told a while ago. I've been meaning to get to it, but then I'm just kind of like, he's not important. But when I seen this video right here, this My Massa thread, literally a My Massa TikTok challenge. All the kids, it's hip and cool to be a slave to my partner. Bitch. I know you lying. Let's move on to Tory Lanez. Let's move on to Tory Lanez and the corny ass joke he told, I would say like 2 weeks ago.
Any last words? My neck is killing me today.
Did y'all see that? Like this? Did y'all see it?
Any last words? My neck is killing me today.
How old is this midget? How old is Tory Lanez? Because however old he is, he's too damn old for the 29 years old. You're 30 years old telling jokes like now. He should get it. He should get it. He should get it. The 25 and unders, I'm not saying I give him a pass, but Tory, you're too damn old. And as a matter of fact, you look like you're pushing 40. So you're damn sure old enough from how you look and what you is. Matter of fact, you look 40, you're about 30. Let's just call you 35. Let's just meet you in the middle, buddy. This is a tasteless ass joke about a hanging, right? But listen, it goes farther. Tory Lanez is legitimately the L that just keeps on giving. It won't stop. This L just won't stop, right? So when you look at this, you see a rope hanging, someone joking about it. He's black. What does it look like to you?
Any last words? My neck is killing me today.
And them two big ass teeth looking like chiclets. Chiclet gum. So, okay, not only is this a tasteless joke, especially isolated, right? Because this is an isolated joke, but he got it from somewhere. Because y'all have got to know that Tory Lanez is a stealing ass fool. He's unoriginal as hell. He's been pulled up and called out and exposed a number of times for stealing other people's creativity. Okay, right? So he's an unoriginal bastard. And he's unable to read the room. But not only that, he stole this joke, right? Because I want you to see more context. When you see the full context, it kind of makes you feel like, okay, right? You take anything out of context and it's like, what? This is the only one that Tory Lanez uploaded, but he stole this joke from another TikToker at Cam Gerard, okay? Now, what this is he told a series of death row jokes. I want you to take a look at this and then tell me your thoughts.
Last words? Nah, I'm just getting warmed up. Any last words? Trying to talk my way out of this would be in vain. Any last words? How do I know you won't just cut me off? Any last words?
You people kill me.
So let me just give a little context. There's a little bit more that we need to watch from this guy, all right? I can honestly say that seeing all of his jokes in full when I scrolled his page, I understood he was going for a certain type of joke that wasn't dedicated towards Black people. But when you look at what Tory Lanez has done, he came, ripped this man's joke off, didn't give him no credit. See, here's the thing. If you go on TikTok and you use someone's same music, he recited this man's joke word for word, but he only told the joke that he knew was going to outrage everyone, because when Tory Lanez is isolated, this is a Black man in a forest with a tree and a noose hanging in the background.
Any last words? My neck is killing me today.
Your neck is a noose, people. A tree in the background, and he's a Black man. What does that look like? It looks like you're making fun of Black people being lynched.
Any last words? My neck is killing me today. Any last words? I won't be shocked if this doesn't work. Any last words? Sure, I'll take a shot at it. Any last words? It's hard to think of anything when your life is at stake.
Okay. So this is a bit different from what Tory did. Okay. So Tory Lanez decided to steal this man's joke, right? And especially out of all the over 20 death row jokes that this other brother has on his page, he stole the one that he knew was going to outrage everyone the most. This is part of the reason why I said, okay, I'm going to talk about this. But I said, no, Tory is doing this for attention, for outrage. It's ultimately going to help him. I can drag him all I want to, but he likes it. He likes, because either way, you got his name in your mouth. So I said, no, I'm not going to talk about this when I found this about 2 weeks ago. But I felt like it's somehow tied into what these college kids are doing it. But Tory Lanez, like I said, we're meshing together the two ages. He looks 40, but he is 30. So he's 35 for me. I'm going to call him 35 because that's what he looks like. He's too fucking old for this. He's too old to be trolling this way. And the least you could do is credit this man and give him jokes. The only reason I knew who this other brother was because they were dragging Tory Lanez in his own comments and adding the original brother, like, yo, if he gonna steal this man's joke, at least add him. At least you stole his joke word for word, the music and everything. What's wrong with you?
Nigga, you gotta be ashamed of yourself, nigga. Real talk. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Old as you is.
I can't. He's too goddamn old.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
He steals this other guy's joke, hoping that no one would notice. Tory Lanez is a goofy ass clown. He's unoriginal. He's unoriginal, folks. He's an unoriginal creative who steals. How many times have we heard about him ripping off another creative? He lacks originality. And in between his few hits, he steals and passes shit off as if it is his own. And it's not. Tory Lanez is the L that just keeps on giving. It just keeps on giving. If I would have still wanted the death row jokes, it would have probably been the in vain one. That's the one I would have did. And of course, crediting him and so on and so forth. Short man syndrome, speak on it. But you know, Tory Lanez is a goofy. The younger generation needs some guidance. There is no fixing people like Tory Lanez. There is no fixing people like Wack 100. There is no fixing people like DJ Academics. There is no fixing a Joe Budden. There is no fixing a T.I. There is no fixing the baby. There is never going to be a come to Jesus moment for these people. Never. Never. Never, ever, ever. Okay? He's 4'2", child. It's a mess. It's really pathetic. And again, I asked this question, and I want to see what you have to say in the chat, but I definitely can't wait for the people who missed the bus. If you missed the bus, that means you're chasing behind it and you didn't catch the live. What do you think it is that we can do as a society to get through to the younger generation? How serious? Let me get Tory off the screen, because I just... What can we do as a people to help the younger people understand that slavery is not a joke? It's not a joke. How can we get through? I mean, they've got textbooks that they're thinking about taking critical race theory out. We've got endless slavery movies. Do we need more slavery movies? Do we need more slavery textbooks? Is there some mandatory course that they should have to take? What are we going to do to help them understand that this is not a joke? Unfortunately, sometimes I think it might take for time to move backwards and for slavery, because again, it's not gone, for it to become as intense as it was, then to help them understand how fucking real it is, because they don't understand until if and when it happens to them. What can we do? What can we do? I don't know, because there's absolutely nothing funny about this. Nothing at all.
Hey, who you with? Bitch, Massa. Stomp it. 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 Who you with?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Okay, so Jamal Johnson says promote knowledgeable artists and promote people who take these issues seriously in their art. That's what we can do. And I think that that's a really good idea, but how far is that going to get us? Because sometimes a woke rapper or, you know, a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar, they're looked at as corny. And I got a super chat a while ago that I forgot to read. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Tory needs to be deported for at least 5 years. That Canadian, not that Canadian doing too much. But a lot of times, you know, stop letting the industry control our minds. Yeah, you know, and that's easy to say. The question is how? And we're talking about all of society, not just the household that you are able to raise, mold, and influence. And like I said, there's only a handful of woke artists, you know, a Chance the Rapper and so on and so forth, right? And woke is kind of like not the term that I want to use, but they're not promoting crap, and they will address discrimination and slavery and really speak what we need to hear in their art, in the form of poetry, right? But there are not as many as we need. There's a handful. And the gangster rap, the Molly, the Percocets, the leans, bang, bang, shoot them up, outweigh, they're louder, and they get put ahead. It's like you put out a woke record now, what you think it's going to do? You think the radio station going to be like, yeah, let me spin that? No. It's called payola. They're going to play what's popular. And unfortunately, what's popular is the Kodak Blacks. Talking about a whole bunch of stuff you can't even understand. For me, I can't even fucking understand it. But when I go to azlyrics.com and when I ask a couple of people that I know, they like, oh yeah, this is what he's talking about. Like, what? He ain't talking about anything that nobody under 20 should be listening to. Ever. And so I just, there's got to be more that we can do outside of people who make art and encouraging them to to say something about it. And then you have to hope that if and once they do, that they're safe, because a lot of times once you open your mouth about certain issues and society realizes you about to wake these people up, we need to eliminate you, because capitalism still need to capitalize. Racism still has its place. And when you try to revoke those things and dismantle this sort of hierarchy, you become a threat. I do believe that if Tupac was still here, I do believe that he was on his way to really waking up the masses. Yeah, he had his gangster shit that he needed to get out his system, but he was a pretty woke brother. They got him out of here. And if you think Tupac is still alive, listen, that's on you. Let's talk about it. Comment down below. But the fact of the matter is, the woker you are, the more of a target you are. When you're trying to pull the wool back off of Black folks' eyes, you become a target. And you could wake up dead one day. That's just the reality of it. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, even when you think back to, the Black Panthers and the people who were, hell, even Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and so on and so forth, taken out of here because they were about to wake us the fuck up. So it becomes dangerous when there is a person that's trying to do that. Who's going to protect them? And so it makes those people, even if you are woke, you don't want to speak up about it because your days are limited if and when you do. So it's really hard to say. It's a really frightening reality, but what we don't need is for this generation to continuously create these LOL pockets to allow these jokes in this time. Yes, I used AZ lyrics. It doesn't help us. It dilutes our potency. It dilutes our power when we let jokes like this live on. They symbolize something. You don't got to be woke to see a nightmare, but in order for you to get out of it and to change your reality, you do have to be woke. You can be asleep and see the nightmare, but in order for you to really change your world and change the world and help the people around you in the community and the village around you, you have to be woke in order to do that. You can't do that in your sleep. So woke artists were popping in the 70s and 90s. Times have changed. The cultural shift is out of this world. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. The more technology advance, hell, there's a lot of slavery living in our, or discrimination or nuances and undertones of slavery all up in our phones, all on technology. Hell, look at this. Look at this. Imagine being an employee somewhere, or your child being an employee somewhere, and their white boss sending them a joke like this, or sending a link to this message. That's an undertone. What are you saying to me, really? And it becomes harder to stand up for it when you have kids making light of it. That's it. Those are my thoughts on Tory Lanez being the L that keeps on giving. Those are my thoughts on this ridiculous, this disgusting, this tragic, and unfortunate Massa TikTok trend. It's really, really, really unfortunate. They say who was woke in the 70s, child. This is sad. And I really want to know all of your thoughts. Make sure you comment down below. Hit the thumbs up button. I do have a sticky note for y'all this evening. Shout out to all my channel members. Shout out to the folks that joined the membership in this show. I really appreciate you. I think Yaya Cat was one that joined the membership, and I appreciate that so much. Listen, let's go ahead and get to the moment where I thank and I really show appreciation to my channel members and being a part of the Backstage Bus experience, being a backstage sticky. Will we have an after show tonight? Yeah, why not? Let's have an after show tonight. For all the channel members that'll be backstage, you want to make sure you check your members only community tab. Listen, if you're a channel member, do me a favor while we play this clip. Throw up your special emojis. If you're not a channel member and you're in the chat, just throw up some pancakes and we'll be right back.
thePLAINESTjane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
So wait a minute, you ain't joined the channel yet so that you can access special perks over here with thePLAINESTjane?
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Ooh, watch this. Hey, I'm thePLAINESTjane. I'm a cultural commentator and informant, and I provide sticky coverage on trending stories, black news, black culture, and everyday topics with a sticky, abstract perspective. So get familiar with the perks. I've carefully curated all of these things, and it's just a little exclusive glaze to amplify the way that you express yourself. So get comfortable, get used to our official emoji over here. That is the pancake stack, because it's always sticky in Hollywood and in real life, and especially when you spend the time over here with thePLAINESTjane. Like I said, I hope you enjoy the exclusive glaze that I've provided for you to amplify the way you express yourself, and I hope you enjoy the digital vibe. Hey, listen, I always want you to keep it sticky, but be sure to think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. But most importantly, I hope that you're feeling all right, and hopefully you've had some time to tackle some of your invisible problems. I know I got a couple of new subscribers, and I just want to say thank y'all. I really do appreciate you. And if you're not quite feeling all right, this channel right here, once you join, it's going to help you kick back and decompress always, but it'll also keep you in the know with what's happening with the best black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So again, get comfortable. The first drink is on me, all right? Act like you got some sense, and I'll see you around. But don't forget to keep it sticky 24/7 by following me on Instagram, but hit that notification bell so that you always know when I upload and you get your dose of syrup first. Now, with all that stickiness being said, the most important thing I want you to remember about this neck of the woods in thePLAINESTjane is Black Lives Matter. And if you don't agree,
Buy pumpkin. That would take you out. I don't play that shit.
Now you gotta go for real.
it's just that simple. Hey, look, whether you join or not, I do want you to stay beautiful, black, and blessed. And just know I appreciate your support. I'm your girl, thePLAINESTjane. And let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. And we're back. Thank you all so much who are still here, anxiously waiting on that sticky note. I'm really excited to continue to deliver those. I feel like that's just something really unique to me. I do a lot to make myself, I naturally stand out. I'm a really creative person, but I don't like to blend into other people, and I don't like to do what other people are doing. That's just me, okay? Another thing that I want to say is thank you to each and every person that was able to catch this video right here. This video right here, I had a blast. I got fired up. I dragged the Kardashians for filth, because the nerve of you to call Blac Chyna ghetto. Is she ghetto? Absolutely. But bitch, I know what you meant when you said that. When you said she was ghetto, you meant that she was too goddamn black. But these niggas that you out here fucking and fetishizing over, they ain't too black until you get done and you disregard them. And you discard them and you throw them away like they're a piece of trash, and you driving these niggas crazy. Lamar Odom out here still ain't been right since he left you. Kanye West still trying to get his shit together. Y'all are ghetto as shit. And that's the bottom line. The Kardashians are ghetto as hell. And I had a blast dragging their asses for 20 minutes and really just giving a breakdown of the definition of ghetto, and even disagreeing with my good friend Google, because Google also had some shit fucked up when it came to the definition of ghetto. It's important. I really thoroughly enjoy talking about colors. I enjoy talking about black and white and the vinegar and oil aspects to them. Sometimes they just don't mix, because like I said, slavery never fucking ended. It never ended. And I will take any liberty to drag a Karen, especially if the Karen call herself getting zesty, knowing damn well she like the BBC. Stop fucking playing with me. So if you haven't checked this video out already, make sure you do so, and make sure you got your kids out the room, because the video start off spicy. First 5 seconds in, off rip. Oh, I take it there quickly. So I really enjoyed that, and I felt like it was some classic Jane. People comment like, oh, I love fired up Jane. Yeah, I like it too, but every now and then I got to bring her down. But I like to bring feisty and passionate Jane out for the right reasons, which is to drag a Karen that's playing games with my black people. Stop playing. Shut your white mouth. Shut your non-black mouth. Okay? But nonetheless, go watch that video. Go share that video with someone. It is the last upload that was posted. Okay? Now, let us go ahead and get into the sticky note of the day. And y'all know that is really just the most important thing that I want to leave y'all with. Okay. The following video is broadcasting live, and thank you for being my studio audience. Thank you for hitting thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more Black news, celebrity entertainment, and a splash of controversy. So today's sticky note is this: ignoring the red flags because you want to see the good in people, it's going to cost you later. I promise you, it's going to cost you later. Are you really willing to give up your progress, your peace, your emotional balance, and grounding? Are you willing to give up your focus because you are determined to see the good in people that may or may not exist? It's not ready to present itself to you. The truth about red flags is that they always exist, no matter how much you turn a blind eye to them. You're living in an alternate reality if you refuse to acknowledge them and protect yourself accordingly. So you must ask yourself, what is on the line when I'm deciding that I want to ignore the red flags to see the good in somebody? When I'm deciding to prioritize potential over what it really is? Are you really willing to give up your progress, your peace, your emotional balance, your emotional grounding, and your focus, all that you've worked for, your sanity, for a virtual reality? Because that's what it is. If you are turning a blind eye to what is exactly there, you are not rooted in reality. You're rooted in what you hope it is, what you want it to be. That's not reality. It's an alternate reality. So if you're willing to give up everything that you've worked for, all the healing you may have done, where you are, your sanity, if you're willing to give that up for an alternate reality, to let someone leech off of you until they done and they move on to the next person, hey, be my guest. But listen to it twice and go to the community tab and check the sticky note out because it's there as well. Okay? Ignoring the red flags because you want to see the good in people, it's going to cost you later. It's going to catch up with you at one point or another. Okay? And that's today's sticky note. If it resonated with you, be sure to comment down below. I'm doing me, so I know it's real. Yeah, and this is something that I had to learn this the hard way. I used to prioritize potential over what it really was, how someone was really treating me. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of potential for this person based off what they say, based off how it seems like they're healing and they're going to improve, but they haven't improved. You're living in a fucking fantasy land, which is fucking up your real life in turn. Not cool. You've worked too hard. You've come too far. And then for people who have a family, that shit bleeds out. You're not the only one affected when you're a mental and emotional wreck because someone has broke your heart, hurt your feelings. You might even be broke because of who knows. But your kids, your family, your relationships, your performance at work, all that stuff suffers as well. Are you really, is that alternate reality really worth it? How long is it going to last? At some point, it's going to wear you out. It's going to deplete you at one point or another. At one point or another. But hey, let me know how you feel about it. If this sticky note resonated with you, make sure you comment. I'm doing me. Okay. And if you want more sticky notes on a semi-daily basis, make sure you always keep in check with the community tab because that is where I place those. You can screenshot them, post them wherever, read them over and over again. I know for me, just because I write the sticky note don't mean I don't go back and read them multiple times a day because I definitely do. I need reminders. I need to repeat things to myself in order for me to really affirm them and grasp them. My mind moves a million miles a minute. And because my mind moves a million miles a minute, it makes it easy for me to forget things and forget basic lessons. And that's what the sticky notes are all about. There may be something or anything that you have healed from, that you have overcame, a hurdle that you successfully got over in life at some point. And it might have been 2 years ago. It might have been 7 years ago. Hell, it might have just been 3 months ago. And you'll come up across that problem again in life and you may not realize, like, dang, I've been here before. How did I get over that problem? For me, repetition of my positive and my motivational quotes is what helps me to stay grounded. Okay. So my sanity is not worth your happiness. Okay. That is a good way to put it. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I be having to remind myself sometimes. But listen, this has been amazing. There was another person who joined the membership. Who was it? Okay. Thank you so much, Sui Dolam. Did I pronounce that right? Sui Dolim. Thank you, Sui Dolim, for joining the membership. I really appreciate that and your support of the channel. Okay. Listen, y'all, this has been a really good show for me. I really enjoy covering these topics. Be sure to tag me in all your favorite trending topics on Twitter and on Instagram. Y'all know I am a proud representative and a frequent tweeter, a proud representative of Black Twitter. Okay. Black Twitter be Black Twittering. Black Twitter got some issues. Yes. Just like any other social media platform can be toxic at times. However, the juice be on Twitter. I'm going to go out there and say 85% of my video topics come from Twitter and the temperature of Twitter. Because anything that's popping on Instagram, on Facebook, that's trending to go viral anywhere else, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, it starts on Twitter. So make sure you follow me if you want to stay in the know with all of the things, all of the best breaking Black news and celebrity updates. And look, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, and I don't take your time and energy for granted. So thank you so much for stopping by and kicking it with your girl Jane, the plainest Jane, where it's always something sticky to talk about. Okay, whether we backstage or we're out here in the public with everybody like we are now. Like I said, oh my God, tonight I am buying the transcripts. Well, it's technically 12:09 over here in Baltimore. But I'm buying the transcripts to the Megan Tory thing because I just feel the need to get through the transcripts. And a lot of things don't add up about the story. And I don't want to pounce on Megan. I don't want to call her names. And she's already going through enough, but I really just want to point out some things and not just say, well, my mind is saying that this doesn't make sense. I want to compare it straight to the transcripts, same way I did the R. Kelly trial. Okay. So I'm buying the transcripts, like I said earlier in the video. And like I said, channel members will have access to the transcripts, transcript readings, and so on and so forth backstage first. Everyone else is going to have a 2 to 4 day delay with having the transcript readings available to them. Okay. So if you're trying to send a super chat or, you know what I'm saying, or a cash app, make sure you do your thing because transcripts are not cheap. But yeah, that is that. But look, the end of the show is here. Okay. Yeah, I'll be popping on Twitter. I really do. I really do. Yeah, I am searching for Meg because I dislike Tory. So trust me, I really don't want to say anything that's going to put Tory in a better light, but I just, gotta be a little bit honest about what the situation is. And yeah, I want to speak with certainty when and if I hold Meg to task. And the best way to do it is to read the transcripts and just this is what's happening in court. This is what the detective said, so on and so forth. But listen, the bus, I'm about to kick all y'all off the bus, so gather your belongings, okay? Somebody left their sunglasses on the last bus ride, and they fit my face really well. I like them. If you leave anything on my bus, it's mine. Just know that. But look, make sure you comment down below. Keep it sticky and real. Let me know your thoughts on what we discussed today with regards to discussing my Massa TikTok trend. Let me know your thoughts on Tory Lanez and his deaf tone as joke. Any and all thoughts, make sure you keep it real with me down below in the comment section. Don't forget to check in on yourself, find some peace, and do some things to grant yourself release. And most importantly, hold on to your loved ones. Okay, subscribe and thumbs up or down, either way, I appreciate it. But make sure you think critically and independently, regardless of what you hear from me or anybody else. Make sure you turn on all notifications so that you're always notified when I'm dishing out some of this sticky, icky syrup. Okay. And y'all make sure y'all stay beautiful, black, and blessed until the next video. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Deuces. But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.